Hey guys, Tony with SeattleBoatDetailing.com. Today's short little video is going to be on kind of just the question of what should I do to get my boat looking right again. I'm part of a couple different groups, and I see a lot of comments of new detailers and boat owners asking the question, do I need to wet sand my boat? How do I get the oxidation out? What steps should I take and that kind of thing. And so I've put out a couple of the videos on wet sanding and that stuff. And it seemed like as soon as I did that, I started getting a lot of calls for wet sanding. So I just want to clear up something. In many cases, you don't need to wet sand your boat. If you're new into detailing or you're trying to detail your own boat, I don't recommend just jumping the gun and going right to wet sanding. Is it a possibility that you'll need wet sanding? Yes. If the boat is, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years old, is the potential there for wet sanding being needed and makes sense? Yeah, it's there. But that being said, a lot of boats don't need that. A lot of boats with a good compounding, with the right products and the right process, you will get them back to the point where they're more than acceptable. They look phenomenal. The dramatic difference you can make just through buffing with the right technique, products, process, it's really, really, really good. So please don't jump the gun. Don't feel like, so-and-so said you have to wet sand and, my boat looks horrible. And, I'm just jumping right to that, because the reality is in many cases, you just don't need it. That being said, when we generally decide to go to wet sanding is for two reasons. The first being if there's heavy oxidation that we feel is not going to get resolved through compounding enough, or sometimes we'll get the oxidation out through compounding, but maybe it's a dark color, or maybe it's just super dried out and super flat, or, just to that point where we look at it and we say, we can get it shiny, but it's not going to hold. That's generally when we'll go to wet sanding if we don't feel we can get it to hold through the compound and polish process. The other thing being, if there's heavy scratching, and when I say heavy scratching, I mean, into the gel coat, not just surface scuffs, not just transfers, true scratching. And again, in that case, we are only going to wet sand if it's not so deep that it's going to require repair, because we don't do any repairs. We're either going to, feather it down and level it out if it's not too deep. But again, nothing on the surface would generally get wet sanded. It's always got to be into it, but not too deep into it. Anyway, that's the quick little video. I hope you've enjoyed the pictures and videos of the boats we've done just through compounding, so you can see even the dramatic difference that just compounding can have on a very oxidized or moderately oxidized fiberglass boat or RV gel coat. So thanks for watching as usual, and have a great day. Hope you're staying safe. Peace.